To locate Uzbekistan, look deep into the center of the Asian continent. It stands as one of only 2 doubly landlocked sovereign states on Earth. Moving physical assets out means every shipment must cross at least 2 international borders to reach an ocean coastline. The geography enforces a severe climate penalty. Winter temperatures drop to -15 degrees Celsius, bringing dark, ice-swept conditions across the vast desert plains. In summer, the Chilla window brings a relentless dry wind, pushing temperatures past 45 degrees Celsius and effectively halting urban movement during the day. But cutting aggressively through this extreme isolation is a modern, high-speed rail grid and a rapidly expanding domestic technology sector. Capital inflows are erecting dense metropolitan architecture and tech incubators inside the capital city of Tashkent. This modern execution sits directly alongside the perfectly preserved courtyards and intricate turquoise tilework of its ancient Islamic heritage. The state has adapted to its landlocked borders by constructing a modern economic engine that functions independently of access to the sea. The capital required to build this domestic infrastructure originates beneath the desert floor, driven by massive natural gas extraction. Beyond fossil fuels, the Kyzylkum desert guards the Murantau gold mine, a 3-kilometer-wide open-pit crater yielding millions of ounces of ultra-pure gold annually. On the surface, the state captures further wealth through heavy agricultural processing, utilizing a massive domestic labor force to harvest cotton and textiles. The government captures the hard currency generated by these physical exports and uses it to subsidize a borderless asset, high-speed fiber loops and digital outsourcing zones at IT Park, Tashkent. Foreign tech founders and remote software engineers tap into these data corridors, pulling down global client revenue while executing within a state-backed environment. This chart compares a standard Western technology salary against the domestic operational baseline. Because the economy runs on tight margins, the average local net salary scales around $350 to $450 per month. That purchasing leverage extends to premium real estate. Modernized, secure corporate apartments in the center of Tashkent cost between $450 and $800 monthly. Day-to-day existence scales with the same efficiency. A feast of slow-simmered national osh plov, pulled from massive cast-iron cauldrons, costs approximately $3. With a state budget anchored by gold and an export market focused on software, the economy minimizes the friction of being far from traditional maritime trade routes. Relocating elite software architects and founders to a Central Asian desert requires more than just financial incentives. It requires absolute stability. The state provides this by engineering a pipeline of frictionless entry. Passport holders from over 90 nations secure 30 days of immediate visa-free access upon arrival. For other global citizens, the digital clearance infrastructure processes a $20 electronic visa directly to an inbox within 3 working days. The trade-off for this open-door policy is a strict domestic code. Within exactly 3 days of arrival, every international traveler is legally required to log their location into the state migration database. This hyper-vigilant registration net effectively eliminates the violent crime or organized networks that often target foreign capital in emerging markets. Solo creators and female travelers move through the metropolitan parks of Tashkent at 2 in the morning with peace of mind. This rigorous civil order insulates the nation's core social rhythm. The communal life, centered around traditional neighborhood tea houses, remains completely intact. The foundational social contract here is simple. Foreigners provide their location data in return for a level of physical security rarely found in a capital city. While traditional maps emphasize landlocked borders, the modern capital flows and infrastructure tell a story of global connectivity. This territory executes the same function it performed 1,000 years ago. Instead of securing overland silk caravans, it now exports gigabytes of high-value digital architecture. It facilitates this data-driven arbitrage against a backdrop of ancient brickwork and towering turquoise domes. Would you trade access to the ocean for absolute security and an ultra-low overhead workspace inside a historic desert empire? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, Vanuatu. We analyze the volcanic archipelagos and citizenship by investment frameworks of the South Pacific. Subscribe to stay real.